he's going to talk to us about machine learning and rehabilitation. Welcome, Adam Palmqvist.
No pressure, right? Let's see. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Adam, and I work as a gamification designer at a gamification studio here in Gothenburg, Göteborg. And I'm invited here today to talk about how gamification and game thinking and machine learning can help e-health, help life science. So the topic for today, I only got 15 minutes, so bear with me. The topic for today is how can we use game design in e-health? Do we need to use it? And how can e-health or life science benefit from it? So today's schedule, my lecture is in 2 blocks. The first one is what is gamification? And the second block is 3 different case studies InsertCoin has done with different companies in Sweden. And the last one is a future study between the University of Berkeley and Karolinska Institutet. So, but first thing first, right? What is gamification? If you Google gamification, you soon realize it's not about playing games, but it's to use game design, game thinking into other principles that is not game related. You can use it in training, you can use it in learning, you can use it to save the environment, but you can also use it in finance. And many of you may think, aha, this when you put points, badges, and leaderboards into an existing product. At InsertCoin, yeah, of course, points, badges, and leaderboards are part of game design, correct. But at InsertCoin, we think the PBL triad, the points, badge, and leaderboard triad, is gamification done bad. It's not about, you don't play games to get points. You play game to feel immersed in an experience. And that's what gamification do. It's how we can use game design, game thinking, to motivate our core drives, to change behavior. I'm out all over Sweden, all over Scandinavia, having a lecture, and this slide is one of my favorite. I always use it. And it explains how gamification works. It's part psychology, part didactics, part cognitive sciences, and part game design. A quite small part is game design. The rest is psychology, didactics, and cognitive sciences. I discovered gamification when I worked, I discovered gamification when I worked as a teacher for, when I worked as a teacher with children with neurodevelopmental disorders and what effect it had on them. I can make an example for you. RunKeeper, one of the most successful exercise or workout apps out there. And you know RunKeeper, right? And you heard about it. Yeah. RunKeeper, they don't say that they're using gamification. The first rule of gamification, don't talk about gamification, right? But they use not only points, they use challenges, badges, points, groups collaboration, metrics. All those things are represented in games because these things motivate us. It's nice to go out running when I can do it together with someone, but it's even nicer if I can challenge someone or collaborate with someone for a higher goal, for a higher standard for my running. It's game mechanics in a non-game context. Have you heard about this? Have you used this one? Yes. Yeah. But for those who haven't, they take all this like RunKeeper, this is a Swedish product, and they put another game element into it. It's the narrative element. And all they do, you're getting all the challenges, all the points, but when you're out running in Zombies Run, you put in your earplugs, and then when you start to slack off, you're hearing the zombies, and then you start running even faster. But then you're getting tired, and you hear, and then you start running even faster. And it's especially effective when you're doing this at night. I'm not kidding you. So that's one way to drive behavior, to drive change. But you can do it. All applications, especially in eHealth, should not contain zombies, okay? But how does it match up with AI and with artificial intelligence? Machine learning and adaptive learning is so immersive, it's so important for gamification, because the user needs to feel that this is my journey, not your journey, not your journey. I want to have my journey when I'm out running. I want to feel that this is my quest. And through the adaptivity, we can make the user experience more immersive and more personalized than we can without adaptive or machine learning. So gamification and adaptive learning go very well together. So, to the 3 different cases. The first case is called Quest to Learn. I was a part of it, making a big gamification platform together with Magelungen Utveckling. It's a school for kids with neurodevelopment disorders, with ADHD, ADD, autism. And we were making a gamified layer on the LMS, the learning management system in Google Classroom. And we had a theory. We have read up on we read up on very special articles about ADHD, and we saw that a lot of kids with ADHD were playing games. And we made a layer that gives points, it gives badges, it gives immersive feedback, formative feedback. We put down the threshold, so the kids with ADHD had a lot of feedback, and the teacher was skeptical. Should we let the kids play more? But they were only skeptical at first. Afterwards, we did an interview study with the teachers, and one of the teachers said, I was so impressed by the result of the implementation. The students' concentration was much higher than usual. Moreover, the students' result had increased. This is the future, not just for pupils with special needs, of the entire school system. Gamification is the shit. So, and the key results of this is we had an increase from the student test score with 35%. And the increase for the student engagement in the platform was 272%. And one thing, you can think, okay, this is behavior, this is behaviorism, B.F. Skinner. But as you can see, the children enjoyed it. They didn't feel like rats pushing buttons. They enjoyed it, having a gamified layer on the learning management system. And they were satisfied when they completed their different tasks. And one thing that was so important to us when we did implementation was that they should be in a flow state. You know Mihail Csikszentmihalyi, a positive psychology. They should not be, the students should not have goals that were too hard to reach, but it should not be too easy for them either. They should be in a constant flow. Another implementation we have done is with the Mandometer group and the Mandometer device. And one thing that the Mandometer group is certain about, if they're working with anorexia nervosa and bulimia, and one of the most important thing when you're working with this kind of diagnosis is it's the behavior that needs to change. You have to normalize the food intake. You have to normalize the sleep pattern. And this is the optimal situation for gamification and machine learning, right? Because it's all about talking to the core drives and make them change lifestyle behavior. So we did, with Mando, we did special timetables where when the people should eat, and they could put up different goals for themselves and how they were able to reach them. And when they have completed their goals, they get a different tier system, so they can get bronze, silver, or gold. And we also used machine learning here, Dr. Cecilia, that gave formative feedback. And we were looking into the formative assessment, the rule of formative assessments. Dr. Cecilia always, the feedback she gave was always 2 stars and 1 wish. 2 stars, this you did good, this you did good, this you can do a bit better. Because they wanted to stay in the flow state as well. This went so well, so we and the Mandometer group made a simulator for eating paste, because normalizing eating behavior, right? And we called it the meatball simulator. We're in Sweden. And it was all about having the right paste when you were when you were learning how to eat in the right paste. But one of the most interesting thing about this meatball simulator was the test group B. They had a lot of digital meatballs, and they were getting stuffed in real life by eating just digital meatballs. So we're taking this further into another trial. What can we do with this information? Last but not least, we are doing a gamified rehabilitation project with Karolinska Institutet and the Berkeley School of Medicine. And rehabilitation, as you know, can deliver therapy to people who cannot travel to a clinic because of the patient has a disability or because of travel time. This is an issue in northern part of Sweden, and as well as the northern part in the US as well. And the question formulation was this: can we improve stroke rehabilitation with game-based thinking? And that transpires into, can we make stroke patients more engaged in the rehabilitation? Can we increase their awareness, providing them with right information about the current condition? Can we make the patient more aware of how their current lifestyle affects their health? And can we make positive impact on them so they are willing to change their lifestyle behaviors for the better? And one thing with stroke patients, and when you are in post-stroke condition, you get a lot of information. You have to take in a lot of information. And to be frank, you're getting all these exercise papers, and it ends, in Sweden, it ends up on the refrigerator door. Endpoint. Not further. So we were thinking, how can we do it more natural? How can we make an app that gives feedback on the progression of the stroke patient with immersive feedback on sleeping patterns, exercise patterns, and eating patterns? So, this is a short presentation, and one thing I want you to leave this room with is one takeaway. Gamification is not about playing games. It's how we can use games designed to motivate our core drives and change our behavior for the better. So, thank you so much for listening.